Greetings, Christian ethics students. I just wanted to take a minute, make a quick video for you just to challenge and encourage you. It is hard to believe that we are already in week number 4. We've made it to this point. We are almost, halfway-ish there. And as I know that this is an 8-week course, and so things are coming at you in a very, very fast and furious manner. So I would just challenge you to make sure and stay engaged with the material as we're reading. Make sure and stay up with the weekly assignments. Don't get behind. Another thing, I feel like I have to say this quite a bit to many of our different classes, but please do a couple different things. One, when it comes to the assignments, if you want to receive the type of credit that I don't know if it's entitled, but the type of credit that you've earned throughout the course, then make sure and read through each rubric that we have. So I've set up a number of different grading rubrics for each assignment. Read my comments on there, please, and seek to engage those and get better each and every week. So this week we are diving into a little bit of a different topic in Wilder and Hendricks' book. And that is the topic of human attachment and how we attach to one another, not only just as human beings, but ultimately how we attach to one another in Christ and what we share in Christ as Christians, and the role that actually plays in changing someone's discipleship, someone's behavior, or someone's character. As we've read in your larger textbook, we've seen that the job, really the call of the church that God has given to the church in ecclesial ethics is changing people's behavior or character change. And how that actually happens best in the church is when we are in community with one another. We know the role of the left brain. It's the part of the brain that really deals with logic and facts, and whenever it comes to what we believe as Christians, the doctrine, the historic truths of the faith. And what Wilder and Hendricks are trying to say is not that those things are unimportant. We believe that they're very important. I just spent several hours earlier today working on a sermon, a verse-by-verse sermon explaining the scriptures, because we believe that truth really forms us. That would be the bedrock of our faith. But we see then when that's the only part of the brain that's engaged, the left brain, and the right brain is not engaged, it's like that relational soil is just depleted. The soil that is there for the seed of the gospel to be planted in the context of relationship. And it's in the context of relationships that they're arguing throughout this book. Wilder and Hendricks are arguing that it's in that context of relationship where life change and character change happens. People actually get unstuck in the context of relationship. And he explains this on page 91, describing just becoming a new believer and leaving his first church. He said, the first church, the relationships with friends in my first community, this is on page 91, were like family relationships. I knew many of them better and was more deeply attached to them than to my own parents and siblings. The level of attachment to people in many of my subsequent Christian communities was much weaker. The byproduct for me was disappointing character formation. He says, just a few sentences later, the inclination toward left-brained thinking had created weakly attached churches. So we're going to be reading more about that this week. You'll watch a video by Dr. Todd Hall, a professor at Biola University, a clinical psychologist that really talks more about attachment and how we attach to one another as human beings and how that relates to our spiritual formation. So enjoy that video, enjoy the post that comes from that. Also, I would be challenging you. We're just halfway through the course, but we're looking at this research paper being due here in the next several weeks. So I would challenge you, begin thinking about that now. If you look at how that breaks down between the annotated bibliography that's due along with your research paper, that's going to be near half your grade. So I would strongly challenge you to be preparing for that right now. Be thinking about your topic, thinking about your sources, thinking about your argument, thinking about where you're going to be getting your sources, et cetera, and be planning ahead for that. The more work that you do now in advance, the less work that's going to be toward the end of this class, and it would be better that you not backload that toward the end. Again, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, if you need help with anything, please feel free to email me. Would love to connect with you and help out in whatever way that I can. I just challenge you, enjoy reading about human attachment and discipleship this week. We'll see you soon.